Greetings. My name is April Vihilidal. My avocations are astronomy, astrophysics, and archeo-astronomy. I will be at CPAK 2012, Conference on Precession and Ancient Knowledge, this year in Palm Springs at the Westin Mission Hill Resort on October 5th, 6th, and 7th. I will have a poster board video presentation there. I will be sharing my most recent and extremely exciting Archeo-astronomical find. I have been told by many colleagues that attendees at CPAK do not want to hear my theory on precession and procession of the equinoxes in its scientific numeric form because it is very complicated and a lengthy time-rendering exposition is required for its complete explanation. My colleagues have encouraged me to find a means by which I can communicate my extremely intense mathematical and involved scientific concepts in a creative and expedient manner. My colleagues have declared with some exasperation, people want to be entertained while learning in this age of electronics and instant messaging. You need to express the fundamentals of your theory quickly so that the attendees at CPAK and the general populace will find the foundation of your work personally relevant. Being thusly intellectually and emotionally stimulated by their candor, I was simultaneously challenged and inspired by my colleagues. I took their message to heart. Therefore, I am going to entertain you with a journey into the distant past as I unveil my most recent and intriguing archeo-astronomical find. I do not want to disclose the entire story of my most recent archeo-astronomical find in this brief presentation. However, I do want to share enough with you to entice your higher intellect and innate inquisitiveness. I aspire to engage you in a personal, scientific, and spiritual inquiry. Here are some reactions to my most recent find within the genre of archeo-astronomy. Most people are very amazed.
Go.
You can say your name.
Okay, my name is Gordon, and I'm finding this incredibly amazing. It doesn't surprise me at all. I've read and understood some things about ancient cultures that have set up things similar to this on multiple continents. I do find it somewhat interesting to try to understand how over 10,000 years or even 2,000 years or even recently with the earthquake in Japan, how the continents are moving in relationship to one another and then to the stars in the heavens.
My name is Nasik, and to be honest, I was never attracted. I do have metaphysical background, and I am interested in all kind of amazing and paranormal things on Earth. But I was never specifically attracted to ancient Egyptian tradition, or let's say particularly to Sphinx. But I wanted to say that this was really awesome, amazing. So it inspired me to go home and start to do research on Sphinx, and this light show was really amazing. It was really interesting. So looks like it was the first light show on Earth. So yeah, I'm inspired to do research on this subject. Thank you.
I'm Joan, and I'm a visual artist, and this is so fascinating, and it's like a living, constantly recurring art piece. And it has life to it and relevancy now as when it was made 10,000 years ago.
Hi, my name is Denny. Looking at this presentation, I'm amazed how we're using our technology today to link with the mathematics and the concepts that they had before. And now we can see it visually versus back then they had to do it conceptually. It was a very great presentation.
Hello, I'm Gregory. I'm not really familiar with this type of subject matter, but it has definitely opened my eyes, and I would definitely like to seek some more.
Hello, my name is Nathan. I found this presentation to actually be very intriguing and interesting, partially because of how it shows how much the past and ancient cultures can really influence us today. And I just found it so interesting that I might as well go tonight and probably look up more into it.
Hi, I'm Debbie. I was not sure what to anticipate today, and I'm very excited that I came. I found it to be just extraordinary, and I want to see the rest of the day.
Hi, I'm Lauren, and I thought this was a really interesting presentation, and I've always been interested in ancient arts, and especially about ancient Egypt and ancient Greece, so I cannot wait to see the rest of this.
My scientific investigation has led me to the realization that the ancient architects of the Sphinx encoded the Sphinx with ancient pi, the ancient radian, phi, and the square root of 2. My hypothesis states that the ancient builders of the Sphinx encoded the Sphinx with the knowledge concerning the 24,000-year precessional and a term I have coined, processional cycle. The ancient designers of the Sphinx also used their advanced knowledge of astronomy to provide a variable light show at 31 degrees, 8 minutes north latitude and 29 degrees, 57 minutes east longitude to create effects of shadows and light upon the Sphinx oriented due east at the aforementioned coordinates. In so doing, they were able to convey a time-honored encoded message from the distant past of 10,400 years ago. The proverbial message in a bottle found floating over the sands of time. Now, all of the aforementioned statements are based on a plethora of nerdy mathematics, astronomy, astrophysics, archeo-astronomy, sacred geometry, and geo-mathematics. It takes a cornucopia of patience to commit to communicating these advanced concepts to someone. Although throughout the past 5 years, I have been privileged to experience 2-hour weekly sessions of discussion with my colleagues, and I am totally convinced that understanding of my theory can be achieved with methodical persistence. I am also convinced that the knowledge I have to offer is both powerful and transformative on diverse levels of the human psyche. So finally, I was gifted with a means of communicating my general premise in a manner that is both direct and entertaining. The slideshow I have to share with you creates a mode of receptivity as it appeals to you, the viewers, ancient collective unconscious, in pure picture form. The video presentation enables you, my viewer, to experience in less than a 1-minute time span what the ancients of 10,000, 400 years ago would have taken from one full day to a week to experience, you, my viewer, will experience it in an effortless few moments, whereas the ancients would have viewed the same experience over hours of focused and constant meditation on the head of the Sphinx. I imagine the shadow image of the smiling Sphinx was seen by the ancients by using an imaging fixating technique applied to the long-term memory area of the brain. I want to distinguish between the brain and the mind. I imagine that the vision of the smiling Sphinx was accomplished by the ancients via the brain on the physical level and also by the use of the collective unconscious on the non-physical level or the astral level of experience. Where we now use an external time-lapse photography technique, the ancients used an internal means of experiencing their vision of the Sphinx smiling. They induced a type of internal time-lapse effect by an intended trance state that shifted their awareness from the physical to the non-physical. They were able to play with time in their minds the way we now play with time on computer video games. I am putting forth the idea that the ancients of 10,400 years ago took the entire day of the summer solstice as well as the days prior to and following the summer solstice to engage themselves in an experience of intense concentration and meditation to achieve an awareness that one can now have in moments due to time-lapse photography. To my amazement, the Sphinx came to life for me on my computer with a generated model of its majestic face and form. I could experience in my Escondido, California office in front of my computer on August 1st of 2012 what the ancients must have experienced on land in the great outdoors at the height of the solar year in front of their magnificent solar deity 10,400 years ago. Now the Sphinx will come to life for you, my viewer, wherever you are on the globe, and whatever time of the solar year you happen to be in as you partake of this viewing experience. I will now present some highlights from my upcoming presentation at CPAK 2012, Conference on Precession and Ancient Knowledge. Through many synchronicities, the Sphinx smiled upon me and has brought me much healing and transformation of consciousness. The perfect balance between the science of the soul pertaining to metaphysics and the science of the material universe pertaining to physics, astrophysics, and archeo-astronomy is now being achieved. The Sphinx smiled upon me. I want the Sphinx, Hor-em-Akhat, Horus in the horizon, to smile upon you as well. May all blessings be upon you. Here are 14 photos that will be a part of my poster board presentation at CPAK 2012. These photos collectively represent a series of time-lapsed simulation photos that demonstrate the shadows that are created by the sun over the face of the Sphinx on June 18, 2011, 3 days before the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. The simulation not only represents the year 2011, but any year, extending back in time to the very creation of the Sphinx, about 10,400 years ago, as well as any year in the future. That is, as long as the present landmass upon which the Sphinx resides remains as it is, without any changes due to the pole shifting, tectonic plate shifting, a falling meteor, or the alike. Frame by frame, from 4:41 a.m. to 10:17 a.m., the Sphinx, Hor-em-Akhat, Horus in the horizon comes to life with the rising sun and smiles at the height of summer. 4:41 a.m. Earth, brown stillness, prepares to catch the first rays of the rising sun on the horizon. Hor-em-Akhat, Horus in the horizon, begins to breathe. Azimuth, 60 degrees, 32 minutes northeast. Altitude, -0.2 degrees, 31 minutes below the horizon. Right ascension, 05 hours, 45 minutes. Declination, plus 23 degrees, 23 minutes. 5:05 a.m. The rays of the rising sun prepare to wash over Hor-em-Akhat, creating a sense of purity with only a glint of the shadow along the right side of the face as the sun rises 28 degrees to the north of due east. Azimuth, 63 degrees, 36 minutes northeast. Altitude, plus 0.1 degrees, 42 minutes above the horizon. Right ascension, 5 hours, 45.1 minutes. Declination, plus 23 degrees, 24 minutes. 5:29 a.m. The shadows along the right ear and the headdress now increase. The shadow on the right side of the head increases as the altitude increases. The sun will eventually rise higher and higher, and the azimuth angle will increase as the sun moves from the horizon at 61 degrees toward zenith at 169 degrees south, with an altitude of plus 83 degrees. The sacred number 108 degrees from horizon to zenith at the summer solstice. Interesting, isn't it? Azimuth, 66 degrees, 27 minutes northeast. Altitude, 6 degrees, 13 minutes above the horizon. Right ascension, 05 hours, 52.2 minutes. Declination, plus 23 degrees, 24 minutes. 5:53 a.m. The right ear is concave and the left ear is convex. So, as the altitude of the sun rises and the azimuth increases, the right ear is outlined and becomes more and more accentuated, as if to say, "Listen to the sounds that greet me this day." This environmentally connected message is sent out to all who observe the shadow phenomenon of the Sphinx. Azimuth, 69 degrees, 10 minutes east. Altitude, plus 10 degrees, 58 minutes above the horizon. Right ascension, 05 hours, 45.2 minutes. Declination, plus 23 degrees, 24 minutes. 6:17 a.m. Hor-em-Akhat, the Sphinx. Horus in the horizon is now pulsating with life and begins to shine, to glimmer and radiate. Hor-em-Akhat metaphorically listens with great awareness as both ears become accentuated by shadows and the colossal solar deity comes to life. Azimuth, 71 degrees, 45 minutes east. Altitude, plus 15 degrees, 51 minutes above the horizon. Right ascension, 05 hours, 45.3 minutes. Declination, plus 23 degrees, 24 minutes. 6:41 a.m. Hor-em-Akhat glows brighter as the sounds around the solar colossal deity vibrate with praise. Azimuth, 74 degrees, 15 minutes east. Altitude, plus 20 degrees, 48 minutes above the horizon. Right ascension, 05 hours, 45.4 minutes. Declination, plus 23 degrees, 24 minutes. 7:32 a.m. Shadows now begin to appear around the right cheek and under the chin of the great solar deity. The azimuth, 79 degrees 24 minutes east. Altitude, plus 31 degrees 32 minutes above the horizon. Right ascension, 05 hours, 45.5 minutes. Declination, plus 23 degrees 24 minutes. 7:55 a.m. Shadow now begins to appear around the lower left cheek and under the chin. Also, the shadows around the convex left ear are becoming more defined. The azimuth, 81 degrees 43 minutes east. Altitude, plus 36 degrees 26 minutes above the horizon. Right ascension, 05 hours 45.6 minutes. Declination, plus 23 degrees 24 minutes. 8:17 a.m. The shadows along the left cheek are growing to meet the shadows of the left ear at this time. Look, a shadow has now formed under the lip of the titanic solar deity, making the lower lip appear to quiver, as if the great, silent stone sculpture were preparing to speak. Azimuth, 84 degrees 0 minutes east. Altitude, plus 41 degrees 10 minutes above the horizon. Right ascension, 05 hours 45.7 minutes. Declination, plus 23 degrees 24 minutes. 8:44 a.m. The shadows around the face are becoming more pronounced as a whole. Azimuth, 86 degrees 55 minutes east. Altitude, plus 46 degrees 59 minutes above the horizon. Right ascension, 05 hours 45.7 minutes. Declination, plus 23 degrees 24 minutes. 9:04 a.m. A very precise and delicate shadow now forms between the lower and upper lip, bringing life-like realism to the mouth of Hor-em-Akhat. Azimuth, 89 degrees 15 minutes east. Altitude, plus 51 degrees 19 minutes above the horizon. Right ascension, 05 hours 45.8 minutes. Declination, plus 23 degrees 24 minutes. 9:29 a.m. The shadows now enliven the upper lip. A sweet smile is appearing upon the solar deity. Azimuth, 92 degrees 29 minutes east. Altitude, plus 56 degrees 44 minutes above the horizon. Right ascension, 05 hours 45.9 minutes. Declination, plus 23 degrees 24 minutes. 9:53 a.m. An inverted equilateral triangle forms with shadow at the point between the eyebrows. This unfoldment is a symbol of the divine deity seeing with the inner eye of wisdom, the space and time within its angular vision. Azimuth, 96 degrees 09 minutes east. Altitude, plus 61 degrees 54 minutes above the horizon. Right ascension, 05 hours 45.9 minutes. Declination, plus 23 degrees 24 minutes. Shadow play now accentuates the eyes of the immense deity, and a full, voluptuous smile emerges as if to say, "May all blessings be upon you this day." The day, the height of the Earth year, nearing the summer solstice, the longest day of the 365.25 Earth year. This is not to be confused with the great solar year of 24,000 years, or one cycle of our solar system moving through the 12 signs of the zodiac. Azimuth 100 degrees 45 minutes east, altitude plus 67 degrees 02 minutes above the horizon, right ascension 05 hours 46 minutes, declination plus 23 degrees 24 minutes. The sublime smile of the golden child, of course, is not the end of the shadow play. The day is still young. This is just the beginning of my story. One cannot help but ponder the advanced abilities of the ancient architects of 10,400 years ago. My work goes on to explain the precision and sophistication needed to achieve such an endeavor through geomathematics, astrophysics, and astronomy. This most probably suggests that some history books will need rewriting. Now see the change of shadow with only the time signatures named. 4:41 a.m. 5:05 a.m. 5:29 a.m. 5:53 a.m. 6:17 a.m. 6:41 a.m. 7:32 a.m. 7:55 a.m. 8:17 a.m. 8:44 a.m. 9:04 a.m. 9:29 a.m. 9:53 a.m. 10:17 a.m. See the golden child smile. May all blessings be upon you. The journey of the sun begins with the sacred number 108. The sun moves from the horizon at 61 degrees toward the zenith at 169 degrees south. 61 minus 169 is 108. So the sun will travel 108 degrees from its beginning at the horizon to its zenith at 169 degrees south.
Now, watch the video and see the experience of the Sphinx. Hor-em-Akhat, Horus in the horizon, come to life with the rising sun. See Hor-em-Akhat, Horus in the horizon, smile upon you at the height of the summer season with smooth realism. This is just the beginning of my story. The Sphinx, Hor-em-Akhat, Horus in the horizon, continues to transform and evolve as the pre-summer solstice day unfolds and the shadows over the face of the great living megalithic deity continues to teach and enliven the consciousness of the observer.
please come to CPAK, Conference on Precession and Ancient Knowledge, this year in Palm Springs at the Westin Mission Hill Resort on October 5th, 6th, and 7th, where I, April Vihilidal, will enjoy meeting you and sharing with you the conclusion of my exciting story. Come and see my poster board video demonstration on the shadow phenomenon of the Sphinx. This is an extremely exciting archeo-astronomical find. After 5 years of intensive investigation that began in pursuance of my master's and doctoral degrees from the University of Metaphysics, I am finally very excited to share my results with you in an extraordinary and meaningful way at the holistic, mystical, and scientific venue, CPAK 2012. Here is a brief statement from the University of Metaphysics. I am a registered priestess and metaphysician from the University of Metaphysics, located in Sedona, Arizona. The teachings of the metaphysical ministry are based upon the teachings of the founder and include, but are not limited to, metaphysics, science of the mind, and philosophy, in correlation with the natural revelations of science and demonstrations of spontaneous, intuitive, spiritual experiences as they pertain to the aspirations of man, physical, spiritual, and mystical. Through the practice of attuning to spirit on a regular basis, I am convinced that the scientific, astronomical, and mathematical aspects of my work have been guided and continue to be guided by and through spirit to produce the type of results you have just experienced. Those interested in my vast knowledge concerning the shadows on the Sphinx phenomenon and the 24,000-year Precessional, and a term I have coined, Processional Cycle, which this phenomenon is linked to and ultimately rests upon, can find me at CPAK 2012, Conference on Precession and Ancient Knowledge. If you would like to know the conclusion of this exciting story, then visit me, April Vihilidal, at sphinxvihilidal.net. I have a DVD and book with the grand finale to this one-day enigma, the shadow phenomenon of the Great Sphinx. So please, come and visit me at CPAK, or you can blog or email me. Either way, hope to hear from you soon.